Hey everybody, Philip Hardy here, Magical Tripcations, your personal travel planner. I am here to talk about using the Royal Caribbean app while you're on the ship and some pre stuff to do prior to your cruise. I'm excited to that you chose us to plan your family or group's vacation, and we really hope you have a great time on it. And we're excited for you guys. And now it's getting close to where you're going to be heading out, so I'm going to give you some tips on how to use your app while you're on the cruise. And just keep in mind, we also do vacations for other things such as Disney parks, Disney World, Disneyland, Universal Studios, Disney Cruise Line, as well as other cool things like, did you ever think about doing a railroad trip and riding the rails through the Rockies, or doing a river cruise down the Danube and checking out the Christmas markets? So we do those too, as well as all exclusive vacations in the Caribbean at resorts like Sandals. So we hope you think about us for future vacations, and we hope you've had a stress-free journey so far, and that you guys are ready for your cruise. So let's dive into this here app. First thing, I will note that you'll need to be on the ship's Wi-Fi to be able to use the app. And then second is you'll want to make sure that your phone is in airplane mode prior to going out to sea. So while you're at the ports here in the U.S., say, for example, the port of Galveston or Miami or Fort Lauderdale or Canaveral, you can utilize your cell phone's data plan for making phone calls, checking emails, doing social media posts, or whatever. But before you go out to sea, make sure you put it in airplane mode. And the reason is you don't want to be hit with roaming charges by your cellular provider. And we've heard guests coming back with hundreds to thousands of dollars of charges on their phones because they didn't put it in airplane mode. So make sure, again, before you get out to sea, put it in airplane mode. The other thing is try to do as much as you can prior to your sail, such as doing all your onboard check-in process, selecting shore excursions, making reservations for shows it's not on all ships, but on the Oasis class ships you can pre-make those reservations on those ships. Any dining reservations, maybe some spa sessions you want to do, go ahead and make those prior to getting on the ship. They do offer some, especially for the spa, they do offer some packages when you get on the ship, so you may want to wait for those. But if you don't want to, if you're just thinking about doing one thing or two, maybe you can go ahead and make those reservations. The other thing is you want to complete your safety briefing information. This is new for if you haven't cruised in a while or cruised on Royal Caribbean. No longer do you do monster drills, but now you do a safety briefing. You review it all on the app, and then when you get on the ship, you go to your assembly location and you check in with the Royal Caribbean cast member, and you check in with them and tell them that you completed your training. They'll scan your CPAS card, and then that'll be done. It's important to do this because the ship cannot leave the port until all guests have completed the safety briefing check-in process. So first thing you do, get on the ship and complete that and go to your monster station, and I'll show you here where on the phone you can find where to go to do that. As before, the first, you'll do your safety briefing information. I've talked about this in another video, where you just click on that little life preserver on the safety icon, and that will bring up a screen here where you will see where your assembly station is. In this case, it is on deck 4, station C18. That's where you would go to do your check-in, take your phone and all of the guests with you, and you will need to have everybody scan their CPAS cards stating that they have, or their CPAS stuff saying that you have completed the safety briefing. And we've talked about this on another video. Okay, now let's talk a little bit more about the app. And again, hopefully you've already been messing around with this on all the things you can do on it, such as look at the ship plans, look at making your reservations and so forth. But let's go ahead and just go around here real quick and look at it. Opening screen, you come up. It basically lists your days here. Day one is your calendar. You can click on this start getting excited button. Once you get on ship, it's going to say welcome aboard, and then you'll be able to click on that. Right now, if I click on it, it does nothing, but I'll show you a real quick here video where if you click on that, that will actually take you to something different to show you what's kind of happening on each day of the trip. So let's take a look at that real quick. Okay, so here on your home screen, you're going to see this which says welcome aboard. So let's take a look at this real quick. And you click on that and it's going to go right off the bat. It's going to bring you to day one. And you can see right here, it's going to say resort casual and then give you information about that particular day. So you can kind of scroll through that and see that. In this case, you know, it's all about your check-in process, the app, your CPass, when you can get to your stateroom, gratuities, all this kind of information. That's day one. Then you can go to the other days. So if you went to, for example, day two, it's going to say, you know, dress to impress. So what's the theme of the day? Dress to impress. You know, dress up. Day three, you'll see what the tonight attire is. And your day four is your departure day. That's going to give you information about departing. If you want luggage service assistance to actually bring your luggage down from your stateroom, or if you're going to do, you know, self-assist on your luggage. So that's good information to have. And let's go check out some more here on the app. All right, so you're all on the ship. You're checked in. You've done your safety briefing check-in. You've headed upstairs. You've had some lunch, say at the Windjammer, and the kids are out at the pool. And now you're just kind of saying, "Hey, what are we going to do the rest of this cruise?" That's where you pull out the app, and you go to the daily cruise planner, and that will be right here in your app. You pull out the app, and you'll see right here at the bottom it says Daily Planner, and that's going to list all of your activities. Again, you should already have maybe seen this as your pre-cruise planning and selecting excursions or shows and things to do. Now it's going to include all of the other activities on the ship that are happening, such as, you know, game shows, bands if they're going to be playing and stuff like that. So you're going to do is you're going to click on that Daily Planner, and that's going to bring up all activities on the ship for that day. And you can scroll down and see, again, this will be all activities. If you have anything scheduled, it's going to pop up and you'll see the little symbol that says shows scheduled. And then you can narrow that down by clicking on each of the icons at the top and filter on, you know, whether it may be excursions, the shops, or the spa, or, you know, fitness activities that are happening on the ship. You can check out each of those. All right. Now, let's say we've actually found something that we want to do. We're going to go back to the planner, and we're going to click on, say, Flowrider. We want to add this to our calendar. You're just going to click Add to Calendar, and then you will see it's added to your calendar. If you don't want that, you can just click on it again, and it's going to remove it. But we want it. We're going to add it to our calendar. There we go. Now we're set. Now we go over to My Calendar, and you can see that it's scheduled for us in the calendar. So you can see the activity at 10 a.m. You can then click on that. It's going to bring it up. If you want to remove it, you can. Otherwise, you can just click on where it's located to see where you need to go for that event. It also gives some other information, such as the description there, what you need to attire-wise, if there's any restrictions or so forth, know before you go information, such as that. So be sure you read all of that detail as well for any activity that you choose. All right, and that kind of gets us to where we've selected an activity, we've added it to our calendar, or we've removed it. In this case, we want to keep it, so we're going to add it to our calendar. Okay, another thing on the app that's you'll be using quite frequently is the chat function, which is right up here. You'll see the little cloud with little three dots. What you'll do is you will click on that, and that will then take you to the chat function. It doesn't work right now because I'm not connected to the ship, but it would show up here with information about who you're connected with. So you automatically have anybody that's on your reservation will show up here. If you want to add people, there's a button you just push to add people. You can just put in their information to add them to your chat function. Okay, well now you know we all know that good things have to come to an end. It's your cruise has ended. You've had your awesome time, enjoyed yourselves, have great entertainment, had some great food, some great lifetime memories, and now you gotta unfortunately get ready to depart. In your stateroom, you will receive the night before a package which will have your, if you're using luggage assist, it will have your luggage tags that you will put on your bags, and that will be your designated area to where you're going to pick up your bag after you get off of the ship and disembark the ship. It will also be a letter like this, and you will make sure that you want to read this letter. It has a bunch of very important information, such as when you need to be out of your stateroom, the night, what you need to do, plan for the night before if you're using luggage assist, when your luggage needs to be outside of your stateroom for them to pick it up. And then on the back is where your scheduled departure lounge is if you're using the luggage assist program, or you're doing self-assist departure. It also has information of where to have breakfast on your departure day. In this case, the Windjammer would be open from 6 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. You got the main dining room you could go to from 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. or the Cafe Promenade from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. So make sure you take a look at that. If you have a handicap or wheelchair, you need to make sure you check that out and give that in, and see what the process is for following there. If you need assistance with their bags, it's kind of mandatory that you utilize the Royal Caribbean assistance and put your bags out the night before. If you don't necessarily want to use the luggage assistance, you don't have to. You could take your bags with you, go have some breakfast, and then sit and wait until you can get off the ship per your designated departure time. On this letter, you'll look here. It says, so for example, you had group 58 for your tag number. You will look on here, find tag number 58, and your departure allowance would be the main theater, deck 4, and your departure time be 10 a.m. So good information. Check that out. Make sure you read it and know that. Again, key information, what time you need to be out of that stateroom, because they do got a quick turnaround. They got another cruise going out, unless you're lucky enough to go back-to-back cruises, and then maybe you can just stay on the ship. No, I think you still got to get off and check back, but I don't know. I think you got to check your luggage, but we can talk about that in another video. Right now, we're just talking about getting off the ship. So again, let's go to the phone. Let's go to the app, and where you can see this information too. So on the app, you will see here, right here at the top, a little person icon. If you click on that right next to the calendar, that will bring up a screen that gives you your departure time, your group number, and then what kind of departure type that you have, whether it's self-assist or luggage assistance. Again, if you don't want to use the luggage assistance, you don't necessarily have to. You just take your luggage with you. I suggest when you do this to, if you're using a luggage assist, make sure you got a small little bag, just like you did when you got on a ship, that has all of your important documents, that has any vitamins or medications that you need to have. Make sure that you keep those in your carry-on so you have those at all times. Making sure you have those documents with you. Very important, otherwise you will not be able to disembark without getting those. So very important, when you get off, make sure you have your documents such as your passports, driver's license, or birth certificates. And then there's a bunch of other information under here, such as your room number and such. So anyway, the key was departure time. That's what you want to look for. Other than that, some tips. If you're doing your own self-departure, I suggest getting up early, taking the elevators down because they will get busy. You don't want to be carrying those big old suitcases downstairs, especially if you're up on the higher floors and you have to carry them, 7, 8 flights of stairs. So get up early or use the luggage assist program. It's very simple. Leave your bags out the night before and they will come pick them up and take them for you. Then you can use the stairs to go down to the deck to disembark. Otherwise than that, I hope you guys had a fantastic vacation. Excited for you. Enjoy your cruise and happy sailing.